All right, everyone, get ready. Because today we are going deep on biohacking for longevity.
Yeah.
Like using science and tech and all the stuff to slow down aging and live better for longer.
It's so interesting how people are really taking their health into their own hands these days. Like
Yeah.
you said, using science and tech,
Uh-huh.
but also just, simple lifestyle changes too.
Right.
And it makes you think about all the possibilities.
Yeah. Fun.
Where are we headed?
What's the future hold?
Exactly.
We've got a ton of research and articles here
Yeah.
that explore this whole range of approaches. I'm talking intermittent fasting, smart drugs, even longevity clinics.
Oh, wow. The whole gamut.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
So I think before we jump in, for anyone who's not already, super familiar with this stuff,
Right.
can you give us a quick breakdown of what biohacking actually is?
Biohacking at its core is about taking an active role in optimizing your biology. It's about understanding how your body works and then using science and technology
Mm-hmm.
to make these small changes that can lead to improvements in your health,
Mm-hmm.
your cognition, and even your lifespan.
So it's not just about like living longer.
Right.
It's about actually getting the most out of those years.
That's it, precisely.
Okay.
We often hear this term health span,
Okay.
and that refers to the period of life where you're not just alive,
Mm-hmm.
but you're really thriving.
Okay.
And that's what a lot of biohackers, I think, are aiming for,
Got it.
that longer health
The
span.
health span. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm.
I'm intrigued already. So what are some of the ways people are actually biohacking, like their way to a longer, healthier life? I mean, where do we even begin?
Well, how about we start with something that's surprisingly simple
Okay.
and also incredibly popular, intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting.
Yes.
Okay, I've been hearing about this one everywhere.
Yeah, it's
Is it really as good as everyone says it is?
yeah. There's a lot of hype around it, but there's also a lot of promising research
Okay.
to back it up.
So what's the basic idea behind it?
So the basic idea is to cycle between these periods of eating and fasting.
Okay.
And this gives your body a chance to kind of like switch gears
Yeah.
and focus on some cellular repair and cleanup.
So instead of constantly digesting, our body can actually
Yes.
do some internal housekeeping.
Exactly.
Wait.
One of the key processes that gets activated during fasting is called autophagy.
Autophagy.
Yes, you think of it like your body's built-in recycling system.
Okay.
It breaks down damaged cell components and then recycles them
Interesting.
into these new healthy building blocks.
Wow. So it's not just about depriving ourselves of food.
Right.
It's about giving our bodies a chance to do a serious spring cleaning.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
And the research on intermittent fasting's benefits is pretty compelling.
Okay, like what?
So one study was published in the New England Journal of Medicine,
Okay.
and they found that intermittent fasting can improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation,
Mm-hmm.
even lower blood pressure and cholesterol levels.
Wow.
And in animal studies, it's actually been shown to increase lifespan.
Wait, hold on. Increased lifespan?
Ah.
Are we talking living to 150 here?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
The research in humans is still ongoing,
All right.
but the early results are really intriguing.
Okay.
And even if it doesn't add decades to our lives,
Yeah.
the potential for improving our health span is really significant,
Okay, so let's say I'm ready to, give intermittent fasting a shot.
right?
What's the best way to go about it?
So there are different approaches,
Okay.
but one of the most common is the 168 method.
168. Okay.
So you essentially fast for 16 hours each day,
Okay.
and you have an 8-hour window for eating.
Okay, so skip breakfast.
You could skip breakfast, yeah,
Okay.
and then have your first meal around noon,
Yeah.
and then finish dinner by 8 p.m.
Okay, and then, so just don't eat anything until noon the next day.
Exactly.
Okay, that sounds
Yeah.
pretty manageable.
Yeah, it's one of the more popular methods.
Okay, and then besides the potential for a longer, healthier life,
Right.
are there any other perks to intermittent fasting?
Plenty. Yeah, a lot of people report weight loss,
Yeah.
increased energy levels,
Mm-hmm.
improved mental clarity, even better sleep.
Wow.
Plus, it can be a simple way to just reduce your calorie intake
Okay.
without feeling like you're constantly dieting.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm definitely adding this to my to-try list.
Right.
What else? What else is out there in the biohacking world?
Yeah.
Like, are there any other, simple tweaks that we can make
Yeah.
to boost our longevity?
There certainly are.
Okay.
But before we get into those, I think it's worth acknowledging
Yeah.
that there's a whole spectrum of approaches
Mm-hmm.
that people take with biohacking.
Okay.
From the very simple and accessible
Right.
to, more high-tech and experimental.
Okay.
And it's important to approach all of this with a healthy dose of skepticism
Yeah.
and critical thinking.
For sure. Not everything you read online is backed by, solid science.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's talk about some of the other techniques.
Right.
Maybe starting with those that are a little bit more, shall we say, advanced.
Okay, all right. How about we delve into the world of nootropics and anti-aging supplements?
Ooh, smart drugs and anti-aging pills.
Now,
Now we're talking.
now we're getting into it.
This is where it starts to feel a little, futuristic, right?
It definitely has that sci-fi element to it.
Yeah.
So nootropics, sometimes called smart drugs,
Mhm.
they're essentially substances that are believed to enhance cognitive function.
Okay.
Some of them are pretty common, like caffeine or omega-3 fatty acids.
Right. Yeah, I think most of us have experimented with those at some point.
Exactly, exactly.
Especially that morning cup of coffee.
Especially that, yes.
But then you have, the more advanced nootropics, right?
Yeah, so then there are, things like modafinil or race cams,
Yeah.
which are often prescription only
Mm-hmm.
and require a lot of careful consideration and medical guidance.
Okay, so those are not the ones to just, buy online.
Exactly, proceed with caution.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. And what about those anti-aging supplements?
Yeah.
Is there really a pill that can turn back the clock?
Well, not quite a time machine,
Okay.
but there are some, intriguing options out there.
Like what?
One example is resveratrol.
Resveratrol. Okay.
It's a compound found in red wine.
Oh, interesting.
And some studies suggest that it can activate these genes
Uh-huh.
that are associated with longevity.
So that glass of red wine at dinner might actually be...
Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's something to that.
yeah, cool.
Right. And then there are NAD plus boosters,
NAD plus boosters.
like NMN and NR. And these aim to replenish this molecule that's crucial for cellular energy and DNA repair.
Interesting.
And we can't forget about metformin.
Metformin. Okay.
It's a diabetes drug
Uh-huh.
that's showing some potential for increasing lifespan.
Wow.
But again, the research is still ongoing.
Got it. So there's a lot of, buzz around these supplements.
Yeah.
But it sounds like we need to,
Yes.
proceed with caution.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
The science behind these supplements is constantly evolving.
Right.
Long-term safety and effectiveness are still being studied.
Got it.
So it's crucial to do your research,
Yeah.
talk your doctor,
Uh-huh.
and avoid any exaggerated claims or quick fixes.
Okay.
Because remember,
Yeah.
there's no magic bullet for aging,
Right.
and it's always best to err on the side of caution.
Great advice. It's easy to get swept up in the hype, especially when you're talking about something as, alluring as slowing down aging.
Absolutely.
So, okay, we've covered intermittent fasting and supplements. What other tools are biohackers using in their quest for a longer, healthier life?
Well, this is where technology really comes into play.
Okay.
Wearable devices and data tracking are becoming increasingly popular
Okay.
in the biohacking community.
I can definitely see the appeal of that.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good gadget?
Right.
Especially if it's giving you, insights into your health.
Exactly. And that's exactly what these devices do.
Yeah.
Things like the Apple Watch, Fitbit, and Oura Ring,
Uh-huh.
they provide real-time data on heart rate, sleep patterns, activity levels, and more.
Wow.
And this allows people to make these data-driven decisions about their health and lifestyle, rather than just relying on guesswork.
So it's like having a personal health coach right there on your wrist.
Kinda, yeah. It's like having this constant feedback loop that's helping you optimize your choices.
Okay.
It's about empowering individuals to take control
Yeah.
and make those informed choices. And this data-driven approach is only going to get more sophisticated.
Okay, how so?
So some biohackers are even using continuous glucose monitors to track their blood sugar
Wow.
throughout the day,
Okay.
and DNA testing to uncover their genetic predispositions.
Wow. It sounds like biohacking is taking the whole know thyself mantra to a whole new level.
It really is. It's about understanding yourself on a much deeper level.
Okay.
But it's important to remember
Yeah.
that while there are benefits to all this tracking,
Mm-hmm.
there are also potential downsides.
Okay. Like what?
we need to be mindful of privacy concerns
Right.
and the possibility of information overload.
Yeah, too much data can be overwhelming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Constantly monitoring every aspect of our health can be overwhelming and even counterproductive.
You're right. It's like a delicate balance.
It is.
Like, we don't want to become slaves to the data.
Right.
We have to remember that health and well-being are about more than just numbers on a screen.
Exactly. It's about finding that sustainable approach that works for you and helps you live that longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life.
Well said.
Yeah.
This deep dive is already blowing my mind.
I know, it's fascinating stuff.
It seems like biohacking is evolving at an incredible pace.
It really is, and we're just getting started.
Yeah.
There are so many exciting advancements on the horizon.
I can't wait to dive deeper.
Me too.
But for now, I think we need to take a break
Yeah, good idea.
and let all this information sink in.
Let it all digest a bit.
When we come back, we'll explore some of the most cutting-edge research in biohacking
Ooh, can't wait.
and delve into the potential for, like, even more groundbreaking discoveries, so stay tuned.
Awesome. So before the break, we were talking about some of those kind of like
Yeah.
more accessible biohacking techniques like intermittent fasting and supplements.
Yeah.
Now let's like shift gears a little bit and look at some of the more like the cutting edge
Yeah.
research that's really pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Okay, I'm ready for some serious, mind-blowing science.
Okay, you got it.
Hit me with it.
All right. So one area that's generating a lot of excitement is the study of senescent cells.
Senescent cells.
Yeah, you can think of them as like zombie cells.
Zombie cells.
Yeah, they've stopped dividing,
Okay.
but they haven't died off.
Okay.
And they accumulate in our bodies as we age.
Zombie cells. That sounds a little creepy.
It does sound a little like a horror movie,
Yeah.
but these cells are a real problem.
Okay.
They contribute to inflammation and tissue damage, which accelerates the aging process
Okay.
and increases our risk of all these age-related diseases.
So how do we get rid of these cellular zombies? Like, is there a cure?
Well, scientists are working on these drugs called senolytics.
Senolytics.
Yeah, and they can selectively target
Okay.
and eliminate these senescent cells.
So it's like sending in a specialized cleanup crew
Exactly.
to get rid of all the cellular debris.
You got it.
Okay, that's cool. And what's the latest on this research?
Yeah.
Are senolytics showing any promise?
Well, the early results are really, really encouraging.
Okay.
So in animal studies, senolytics have been shown to actually improve health span
Wow.
and even extend lifespan.
Okay.
And there are actually several human clinical trials that are underway right now
That's awesome.
to test their safety and efficacy.
So imagine a world where we can, like clear out all these harmful cells
Yeah.
and potentially slow down the aging process.
It would be
It's like hitting the reset button on our bodies.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
It's a fascinating concept.
It is.
And senolytics are just one piece of the puzzle.
Right. Another area of research that's really capturing the imagination is cellular reprogramming.
Cellular reprogramming.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to have to break this one down for me.
All right. So essentially, it involves using these specific genes
Okay.
to reset cells to a more youthful state. It's like taking an old, worn-out cell
Uh-huh.
and turning back its biological clock.
Whoa. That sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And while it's still very much in the experimental phase,
Okay.
the possibilities are mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Researchers have already successfully reprogrammed cells in the lab.
Wow.
And now the focus is really on translating those findings into, safe and effective therapies for humans.
So we could potentially rejuvenate not just like individual cells,
Right.
but like entire organs and tissues.
That's the ultimate goal.
Wow.
Imagine being able to, reverse age-related damage to the heart,
Yeah.
the lungs, even the brain.
Yeah.
I mean, the implications for human health and longevity are enormous.
This is incredible stuff. I'm starting to feel like we're on the verge of a major breakthrough
I think we
in our
are.
understanding of aging.
I agree. And it's not just about, eliminating harmful cells
Right.
or reprogramming existing ones. Another area of intense focus is the gut microbiome.
The gut microbiome. Okay, I've heard a lot about that lately.
Yeah, it's everywhere these days.
It seems like it's involved in everything.
It really is.
Okay, so what's the connection between the gut microbiome and longevity?
Well, research is showing that a healthy, diverse gut microbiome
Okay.
is essential for healthy aging.
Okay.
It helps regulate inflammation,
Yeah.
supports immune function, even influences our cognitive health.
Wow, so like the key to a longer life could be as simple as like taking care of our gut bacteria.
It's certainly a major piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
And scientists are developing all these new ways to, like, manipulate the gut microbiome
Okay.
to promote healthy aging,
Like what?
like things like fecal microbiota transplantation.
Fecal microbiota transplantations.
It's-
Okay, that one sounds a little intense.
It might sound unusual,
Yeah.
but it's actually a very promising therapy. It involves transferring fecal matter from a healthy donor to a recipient
Okay.
to restore that balance in the gut microbiome.
Okay.
And it's showing great promise in treating a range of conditions.
Wow.
And researchers are also looking at its potential for promoting longevity.
Wow. It seems like the field of biohacking is constantly like
Yeah,
pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible in healthcare.
absolutely. And the pace of discovery is only accelerating,
Yeah.
with advancements in genetics,
Mhm.
biotechnology, artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
We're poised to unlock even more secrets about how our bodies age
Right.
and how we can intervene to live longer, healthier lives.
It's an exciting time to be alive,
It is.
especially for those of us, interested in optimizing our health and pushing those limits of human potential.
I couldn't agree more.
So what does it all mean? Like, what can we as individuals take away from all this incredible research and innovation?
Well, I think the key takeaway is that we have more control over our health and aging
Okay.
than we ever thought possible. We may not have a fountain of youth just yet,
Right.
but we do have the power to make choices that support healthy aging
Okay.
and potentially extend our lifespan.
So it's about empowering ourselves with knowledge
Absolutely.
and taking those proactive steps
Yes.
to live our best lives for as long as possible.
Exactly. It's about embracing that holistic approach to well-being,
Okay.
incorporating all those evidence-based practices
Rick, what?
like exercise,
Yeah.
a healthy diet,
Uh-huh.
stress management, and yes,
Yeah.
even some of the biohacking techniques we've talked about.
Okay, so it's about taking ownership
Yes.
of our health and longevity
Yes.
and recognizing that we're not just passive passengers in the aging process.
Well said.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
But it's important to remember that biohacking is still an evolving field.
absolutely.
Right. We need to approach these advancements with a critical eye,
For sure.
stay informed about the latest research,
Yes.
and consult with, qualified healthcare professionals
Absolutely. Always.
before making any major decisions.
Always good advice.
Yeah, it's about finding that balance between embracing innovation
Right.
and being cautious about, potential risks
Right.
or exaggerated claims.
Exaggerated claims. That's a big one.
Yeah.
So as we continue to explore the frontiers of biohacking and longevity,
Yeah.
let's do so with a sense of curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
responsibility, and a commitment to using these powerful tools for the betterment of humanity.
This deep dive has definitely sparked my curiosity
Oh.
and given me a lot to think about.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm feeling inspired to take a more proactive approach
That's great.
to my own health and longevity.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah,
So remember, knowledge is power,
yes.
and by staying informed and engaged,
Uh-huh.
we can all play a role in shaping the future of health and well-being.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah.
From intermittent fasting and supplements
Mm.
to senolytics,
Yeah.
cellular reprogramming, even the gut microbiome.
Can't forget the gut.
And it's clear that the world of biohacking and longevity is
It's massive.
vast and rapidly evolving.
It is. And we're just getting started.
Yeah.
There are so many more exciting discoveries on the horizon.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be really fascinating to see how all these advancements continue to shape our understanding of human potential.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Okay, so we are back for the last part of our biohacking and longevity deep dive.
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing
Yeah.
looking at all the different things people are trying.
Right, from simple lifestyle changes like the intermittent fasting we talked about
Mhm.
to whoa, some really cutting edge research on senolytics,
Right.
cellular reprogramming.
It's incredible how fast this field is moving.
Yeah, and it really feels like we're not just passive bystanders anymore.
Exactly. We're not just along for the ride.
Yeah, in the aging process.
Yeah, we have so much more power than we used
To actually do something about it.
to actually shape how we age.
Yeah, make informed decisions, personalized approaches. It's pretty cool.
It is empowering, isn't it?
It is, but it also feels like it comes with a responsibility, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely, for sure.
We need to be like thinking critically about all of this,
Yeah.
making sure these technologies are actually benefiting everyone.
Right, not just a select few.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because a future where only, the wealthy can afford to live longer,
Right.
that's not a future I want to see.
Nobody wants that.
No, definitely not.
So, as we kind of wrap up here,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with like a thought-provoking question.
Okay, hit me.
If you could significantly extend your health span,
Uh-huh.
what would you actually do with all those extra years?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it really makes you think.
It does. I think for me, it would
Yes.
be about spending more time with like my family and friends.
The people you love.
Yeah, and maybe finally pursuing some of those passions
Oh, yeah.
that I haven't had time for, you know?
Like what?
Oh, I don't know, maybe learn a new language, take up painting, who knows?
Yeah, there are endless possibilities.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
maybe, do some good in the world too.
Give back to the community.
Exactly. Volunteer more, something like that.
It's interesting how the idea of a longer health span really shifts your focus, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, it's not just about living longer.
Yeah.
It's about really like living better.
Living a more fulfilling life.
Exactly.
Making the most of that time.
I think that's something we can all like strive for,
I agree.
whether we're like hardcore biohackers or not.
It's a mindset.
Yeah, it's about constantly learning and growing and like appreciating that life is a pretty amazing gift.
And making the most of it while we can.
Well said. Well, this has been an incredible deep dive.
It has.
And I hope everyone listening is feeling like inspired
Yeah.
to take a more proactive approach to their health and longevity.
I hope so too.
Remember, knowledge is power.
It
So
is.
stay curious, stay informed, and let's all work together to create a healthier, happier future.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into biohacking and longevity.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you learned a lot and are feeling empowered to shape your own health journey.
Absolutely. And until next time, keep exploring those possibilities.
Stay curious out there.